Welcome here to the sideboard here at the Star City Games Open featuring the Invitational. I'm Ken Crocker here with Reid Duke. How you doing, Reid?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we're here with a new standard, and we're going to talk some new standard with one of the best players in the world, Reid Duke. So we have a Sultai Reanimator deck in standard, is that right?
Yeah, Sultai Reanimator, pretty similar to the deck that's existed for a few months now.
So you have your old Sidisi's, the old one, the Brew Tyrant, and then you have new Sidisi as well. So we have 6 Sidisi's in this deck.
Yeah, if you walked over to any of my matches today, you'd frequently see me with both Sidisi's side by side. And ironically, although they're legends with the same name, they actually go really, really well together, and you can have them both in play at the same time.
So we have Whip of Erebos in this deck, obviously, to abuse those Sidisi's.
Yep.
But you're only running 2 in the main deck. Why is that?
Well, having the Sidisi Undead Vizier increases your access to your powerful late game cards. So cards like Whip of Erebos or Hornet Queen, which are not particularly strong in multiples, you're now able to shave lower on those, but still be able to get them when you need them.
So you're basically tutoring up a bunch of one-ofs that are really powerful for situational sort of matchups.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so some of those one-ofs include you have Slumgar, both versions once again.
Yeah.
So we got Slumgar the Drifting Death, and then we have Dragonlord Slumgar. So what are those? Obviously those are for different matchups, but which matchups are for which Slumgar, basically?
Well, the Drifting Death is kind of like, I don't have Doomwake Giant in my main deck, but it's basically a similar role against the small creature token decks. But it's funny because a lot of the decks, even decks that don't focus on 1/1 creatures, sometimes they just have a really hard time beating a 3/7 hexproof. You can either brick wall their biggest creature, or it's like a threat that control decks sometimes can't kill. And then Dragonlord Silumgar is, pretty much anyone that has creatures, that card is really, really powerful against.
So we have this mid-range Sultai deck. What made you decide to bring that here at the Invitational? What matchups were you really looking for your opponents to be playing? What were you good against?
Well, I've really loved the Whip decks for a long time, and Sidisi Whip is one of my favorite variants and makes good use of the new cards. So I would say just generally a powerful deck, but in particular, Whip decks are very, very strong against other creature decks, like aggressive decks, token decks, monsters decks, anything like that. And the control decks are slightly harder. You have to really gear your sideboard if you want to beat those.
All right, so the people at home are going to see that Torrent Elemental is a one-of in your deck. Now, have you lived the dream of whipping away a Torrent Elemental and then hard casting it from exile?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's sometimes tough for them to even survive that first attack, but when they do, it feels pretty good.
Well, that's great to hear. You went 4-0 in Standard, is that correct?
I did, yeah.
So what did you play against in Standard?
I beat Red-Black Dragons deck, Green-White Aggro, Red-Green Monsters, and Jeskai Ascendancy combo.
Oh, so a wide range of decks.
Yeah, a wide range. I was fortunate to dodge the control decks, the dedicated control decks, but aside from that, pretty good spread of the format.
Well, let's hope that your good luck continues tomorrow, and we can go 4-0 again.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, well, thank you for citing us in from the sideboard, Reid.
Thanks.
All right, stay tuned for more invitational action here at the Star City Games Open in Richmond.